Welcome aboard the Facts Intrigue channel, where history's hidden tales come to life. Before we embark on today's journey into the past, remember to like, share, and subscribe, ensuring you don't miss a single stop along our journey through history's forgotten tracks. In the heart of America's historical tapestry, woven between the threads of prosperity and progress, lies the somber saga of the hobos. Not mere wanderers, but a resilient breed, born from the ashes of the Great Depression. As the Roaring Twenties whimpered into silence, the American dream crumbled, leaving in its wake a landscape of shattered hopes and barren opportunities. It was during these trying times that the hobo emerged, not by choice, but by the sheer force of survival. These intrepid souls, armed with nothing but an unyielding spirit, journeyed across the nation, riding the iron horses of destiny, seeking work, sustenance, and a glimmer of hope in an era clouded by despair. In this world of uncertainty, a unique brotherhood was forged. The hobos, bound by their shared plight, created a silent language of symbols, a covert code etched onto the very landscape they traversed. This code, a testament to their unity and resilience, guided them to safe havens and warned of perils, a beacon of solidarity in the tumultuous seas of the 1930s. Join us as we decode the secret symbols of the rails, unearthing the tales of camaraderie and survival etched into the annals of American history. Stay tuned, for this is not just a tale of wanderers, but a saga of survival, solidarity, and the indomitable human spirit. As we delve deeper into the shadows of the Great Depression, a clandestine language emerges from the dust, the Hobo Code. More than mere marks, these symbols were the whispers of a silent conversation, etching the secrets of survival onto the canvas of America's landscape. Imagine wandering into a town, your future as uncertain as the setting sun. Here, the Hobo Code served as the North Star for the weary traveler. Each symbol, a cryptic message, offering wisdom, warnings, and welcome to those who could decipher its meaning. A circle with two parallel arrows meant, "Get out fast," as hobos understood that danger lurked in this place. Conversely, the image of a cat signified a kind-hearted woman lived here, one who might offer a meal or a moment of solace. Drawn with chalk or coal, these symbols spoke of safe houses, generous townsfolk, and places to avoid. A cross signified angel house, a home where a meal and kindness awaited. A triangle with hands signified that the homeowner had a gun, a stark warning to proceed with caution. But the Hobo Code was more than a guide to the physical world, it was a testament to the hobo spirit. In a time of rampant suspicion, the code built a bridge of trust among strangers, each symbol a thread in the fabric of a mobile, transient community. From warnings of aggressive dogs to signs of work available, the code covered all facets of hobo life. And as the rails stretched out before them, these symbols were the breadcrumbs on a trail of survival, leading through the heart of an America hidden from history's highways. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, ensuring you're part of every discovery, every revelation, on the Facts Intrigue channel. Let's turn the pages of this hidden chapter, symbol by symbol, uncovering the significance etched into each line, each curve. The cat, as we mentioned earlier, is a symbol of hope in the midst of despair. For the wandering souls of the rails, this feline sketch wasn't just a drawing but a beacon, signaling the presence of a kind-hearted woman. In a world where a warm meal and a moment of kindness were as rare as a diamond in the dust, this symbol was a promise of both. And now let's focus, the cross again, not in the capacity of a religious icon here, but in the context of a universal sign meaning angel house. In the harsh lexicon of the road, this sign whispered of safety, of a sanctuary where compassion outweighed suspicion, where the weary traveler could rest and rejuvenate. But not all tales are of kindness and warmth. The circle with two parallel arrows, a stark warning to get out fast. Here, the hobo's intuition met the harsh reality of danger, a reminder that not every shadow offered shelter, not every hand extended in friendship. And the triangle with hands, a chilling note of caution. A silent alarm bell ringing through the stillness, urging hobos to tread lightly, to weigh the hunger in their bellies against the risk in their path. These symbols, a language of lines and curves, were more than mere markers, they were the silent guardians of the hobo journey. In a landscape where uncertainty was the only certainty, each sign was a thread in the fabric of a community bound by the unspoken oath of survival. From signs of work to warnings of aggressive dogs, from promises of food to whispers of danger, the Hobo Code was the map and compass of the rail-bound nomad, a testament to the ingenuity and resilience of those who dared to carve their paths outside the margins of the mapped world. In our next chapter, we'll journey beyond the symbols themselves, exploring the profound impact these silent messengers had on the fabric of hobo culture, and how, even in the darkest of times, humanity found a way to whisper words of hope and caution through the simple stroke of chalk on wood, coal on stone. Stay with us on the Facts Intrigue channel, as we decode not just the symbols, but the soul of the hobo's silent language. And remember, if you're captivated by these hidden stories of history's byways, like, share, and subscribe, for the journey through the secret symbols of the rails is just beginning. As we've journeyed through the intricate tapestry of the Hobo Code, uncovering the meanings behind its cryptic symbols, we now venture beyond the signs themselves, into the very heart of hobo culture. Here, in the shadows of the rails, a unique society thrived, bound not by geography, but by an unspoken code of survival and solidarity. In this uncharted society, the Hobo Code was more than a navigational tool. It was the cornerstone of a complex community, a lifeline connecting the dots of a transient life. Each symbol, each line drawn in secrecy, carried the weight of shared experiences, of stories whispered from one traveler to another. Imagine the hobo camps, known as jungles, where weary travelers congregated, sharing tales of the road, and passing on the knowledge of the code. Here, in the glow of a flickering fire, the symbols were taught and learned, a legacy handed down through generations of rail riders. But the influence of the Hobo Code extended beyond the confines of hobo culture. In a time of widespread despair, these symbols represented a flicker of humanity, a network of support in the face of adversity. They illustrated an innate desire for connection, for community, for understanding, even among those cast aside by society. Consider the story of Boxcar Bertha or Railroad Jack, names that resonate through hobo folklore, individuals who became legends on the tracks, not just for their journeys, but for their role in weaving the rich fabric of this hidden culture. In the tapestry of the Hobo Code, where each symbol tells a story, the legends of Boxcar Bertha and Railroad Jack weave their own vibrant threads. These two figures, more than mere names, embody the spirit and resilience of the hobo community, becoming folk heroes in their own right. Boxcar Bertha, known as the Queen of the Rails, epitomized the adventurous spirit of the hobo lifestyle. Her tales, passed from campfire to campfire, paint the picture of a woman whose home was the vast network of railroads. Bertha's name became synonymous with freedom, her life a series of journeys between the flickering shadows of the Hobo Code. So, what do we know about Boxcar Bertha? Boxcar Bertha is a figure enshrouded in the folklore and mystique of the hobo culture, particularly during the early 20th century. However, it's important to note that her story is a mix of fact, fiction, and embellishment, making it hard to separate the actual person from the legend. Here is what we learned. Boxcar Bertha was first popularized by the book Sister of the Road by Dr. Ben Reitman, published in 1937. The book is an autobiography of Boxcar Bertha Thompson, as narrated to Reitman. It presents Bertha as a woman who took to the rails, living the hobo life, and engaging in a variety of jobs, adventures, and even criminal activities. Bertha's story is one of resilience, independence, and survival against the backdrop of the Great Depression. According to the narrative in Sister of the Road, Bertha's life on the rails began at a young age after a series of personal upheavals and societal challenges. The book details her experiences with labor organizing, her encounters with various people, and her run-ins with the law. Her story is a vivid account of the hobo lifestyle, reflecting the broader social and economic issues of the time, including poverty, inequality, and the struggle for workers' rights. However, the authenticity of Sister of the Road and the existence of Boxcar Bertha as described in the book have been subjects of debate. Some consider the book a partly fictionalized account, though it's based on the stories of real-life female hobos and the experiences of marginalized people during the Great Depression. As for what happened to Boxcar Bertha, the historical record is unclear. Her story, as told through the book, doesn't provide a definitive conclusion to her life. Instead, she remains a symbol of the era, representing the stories of countless individuals who lived on the margins of society, finding their way through a challenging and transformative period in American history. What do you think? We would love to know. Let us know in the comments below. In popular culture, Boxcar Bertha's legend was further immortalized by the 1972 film Boxcar Bertha, directed by Martin Scorsese. Though the film takes considerable creative liberties, it contributed to the mystique and recognition of Boxcar Bertha as an iconic figure of the hobo lore. In summary, while the details of Boxcar Bertha's life are a blend of fact, fiction, and folklore, her story resonates as a powerful narrative of survival, defiance, and the quest for freedom within the complex tapestry of American history. Then there's Railroad Jack, a name that resonates with the rhythm of the tracks. His story is one of legend, a man whose life was as intertwined with the railways as the very steel they were made of. Now let's talk about Jack. Jack's knowledge of the Hobo Code was unparalleled. His understanding of the symbols as deep as the lines etched into his weathered hands. Railroad Jack, much like Boxcar Bertha, is a figure who embodies the spirit and lore of the hobo cultures. However, like Boxcar Bertha, the specifics of his life are also wrapped in the mist of folklore and anecdotal evidence, making the true details of his life somewhat elusive and open to interpretation. Unlike Boxcar Bertha, whose story was largely popularized through a specific book, Sister of the Road, Railroad Jack is more of a composite character, representing the archetypal hobo of American folklore. He's often depicted as the quintessential knight of the road, a seasoned wanderer of the railroads, well-versed in the ways of the hobo life. Characteristics commonly attributed to Railroad Jack include knowledge of the rails. Railroad Jack was said to possess an encyclopedic knowledge of the railroad network, knowing the ins and outs of routes, train schedules, and safe spots along the tracks. He was a master of the Hobo Code, well-versed in the symbols and their meanings, and played a part in teaching younger or less experienced hobos how to navigate the dangers and opportunities of the road. Life of adventure and freedom. Stories of Railroad Jack often emphasize his adventurous spirit, portraying him as a symbol of freedom and resistance against the constraints of conventional society. Mentorship and brotherhood. In hobo lore, Railroad Jack is often depicted as a mentor figure, sharing his wisdom and knowledge with fellow hobos and embodying the values of camaraderie and solidarity that were central to hobo culture. While the persona of Railroad Jack is rich in cultural significance, pinpointing historical facts about his life is challenging. He is less a single individual and more a representation of the idealized hobo, a composite of countless real-life stories and experiences from the era when hobos roamed the American railways. The legend of Railroad Jack, much like that of Boxcar Bertha, serves as a narrative vessel, carrying the collective memories, challenges, and triumphs of the hobo community. His story is a mosaic, pieced together from the tales of survival, ingenuity, and brotherhood that define the hobo experience in American history. We want you to know that our video presents a montage of symbolic representations and evocative images reflecting the lives of Bertha and Jack and others who rode the rails. These characters were not mere drifters but the living embodiment of the hobo ethos. Their tales of courage, ingenuity, and compassion echo the very essence of the Hobo Code, a silent language that spoke volumes of the human capacity for adaptation and solidarity. In the lore of Boxcar Bertha and Railroad Jack, we find not just the echoes of a bygone era, but the enduring spirit of a community that thrived in the margins, a testament to the resilience and resourcefulness of those who lived by the Hobo Code. As the wheels of time turned, and America shifted gears from depression to prosperity, the echoes of the hobo's life began to fade. Yet, the symbols they left behind stand as silent sentinels, a testament to their existence, to their resilience, and to their indomitable spirit. As we bring this chapter to a close, let us reflect on the Hobo Code not just as a relic of the past, but as a mirror reflecting the universal human narratives of struggle, adaptation, and the enduring quest for community. For in the simple lines of chalk and coal, we find the complex stories of life itself, etched into the very rails that crisscross the tapestry of America. It has been asked who is credited for creating a code hobos could communicate by. Well, it's not that cut and dry. The Hobo Code, with its intricate system of symbols used by hobos to communicate information about resources, dangers, and other important details about their travels, does not have a single creator or point of origin that is definitively documented. Instead, it emerged organically within the hobo community, evolving over time as a collective creation. The code was a product of necessity, a response to the unique challenges faced by hobos as they traveled across the country, often on freight trains, during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. As a transient and often marginalized community, hobos developed this system to look out for each other, share knowledge, and offer support in an environment where their lifestyle was not well understood and was often unwelcome. The symbols of the Hobo Code were simple and easy to discreetly mark on fence posts, building walls, sidewalks, and other surfaces near railroads and towns. They were designed to be quickly understood by those in the know, providing tips on where to find food, work, or a safe place to sleep, as well as warnings about dangers like hostile law enforcement or guard dogs. The Hobo Code is a fascinating example of vernacular communication, showing how a community can develop its own means of sharing information and supporting its members. Because of its informal and decentralized nature, it's unlikely that any one person or group can be credited with its creation. Instead, it's best understood as a collective effort that reflects the shared experiences and needs of the hobo community of that era. I bet some of you are wondering, are there still hobos today that ride the rail? Our research shows that yes, even with today's advancement in train security technology, there are still individuals who ride the rails today, although the culture and context have significantly changed from the heyday of the hobo lifestyle in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Modern-day rail riders often refer to themselves as train hoppers or freight hoppers, and their reasons for adopting this lifestyle can be as varied as those of their historical counterparts. However, it's important to note that contemporary train hopping is considered illegal and dangerous. Railroad companies strictly enforce trespassing laws, and the penalties can be severe. Additionally, the modern railway system is faster and more heavily monitored than in the past, increasing the risk of accidents and injuries. While some individuals engage in train hopping as a form of adventure or a way to reject mainstream societal norms, others may do so out of necessity, due to economic hardship or personal circumstances. The modern-day version of this lifestyle does not have the same widespread community or culture that characterized the hobo movement of the past, and it lacks the organized system of communication like the Hobo Code. Documentaries, books, and personal accounts can be found that explore the contemporary phenomenon of train hopping, offering a glimpse into the lives of those who continue to ride the rails. Perhaps someday we will create another video on the modern-day hobo. However, these modern-day rail riders are navigating a very different world, with its own set of challenges and dangers, distinct from the romanticized image of the hobos of yore. And that concludes our video on the Hobo Code. Thank you for journeying with us through the secret symbols of the rails on the Facts Intrigue channel. If these untold tales of resilience and camaraderie have moved you, remember to like, share, and subscribe. For history is not just in the pages of books, but in the silent symbols whispered on the winds of time.